Hello, I'm Dr. Jim Anderson. What makes a negotiation fair? Good question. So when we enter into negotiation, it's our goal to use our negotiating styles and negotiating techniques to reach an agreement with the other side. Although fair for both sides, nobody's going to be taking advantage of anyone else. However, as the negotiation moves along, we may start to have some doubts. We may start to wonder if the other side is treating us fairly. In fact, we may wonder if this is really a fair negotiation. How can we tell? What makes a negotiation fair? So, in order to take a look at what makes a negotiation fair, imagine a situation in which you and your business partner agree to sell your company. You end up getting an offer that you feel is good for both of you. And so now you face the task of splitting up the rewards. How do you ensure that there's fairness in this negotiation? Let's create some background for this deal. Your partner put in twice as many hours into the firm's startup as you did, while you worked full-time elsewhere to support your family. Your partner, who is independently wealthy, was compensated nominally for their extra time. For your partner, the profit from the sale would be a nice bonus. For you, it would be a much needed windfall. Researchers have identified three fairness norms that people frequently invoke during a negotiation. Equality, in this case, a 50-50 split profits, which would favor your partner in this case, and need, a split that favors you and your family. Psychologists have found that people commonly choose among these fairness norms based on their self-serving desire for more. That is, and it's not nice to say this, our greed determines how we define fairness in a given negotiating situation. In this situation, when splitting up the business, you might be tempted to give extra consideration to your family's needs and overlook your partner's investment of time in the opposite light. You might both end up being insulted and wronged. So how can we create fairness in a negotiation while maintaining the status quo? So studies have shown that professional arbitrators rely on a fourth fairness norm, maintaining the status quo. Many negotiators resolve a conflict by resisting radical change. A good example of this is your annual raise. It's probably a percentage increase from last year's salary. We can call this the status quo. However, what if last year's salary wasn't fair to begin with? Then the organization that you're negotiating a new salary with has simply institutionalized a pay inequality. In any negotiation, you should strive to bring fairness considerations to the surface so that everyone will understand one another's needs and wants. What all this means for you. When we enter into a principled negotiation, our focus is generally on what we're going to be getting out of it. However, there might be something else that we need to be aware of: fairness. Ultimately, the deal that we reach with the other side is going to have to be implemented by both parties. As a negotiator, it's important that both sides come away from the negotiation feeling that the deal that was agreed to was fair. One of the things that negotiators need to understand is that everyone looks at fairness in a different way. The people who study such things have identified three different types of fairness: equality, in this case, a 50-50 split profits; equity, a split in proportion to input; and need. Researchers have taken this one step further and believe that they found another type of fairness: maintaining the status quo. This means that negotiators try to resist change. The important thing for negotiators to understand is that fairness is a part of every negotiation that we're involved in. We need to understand the different types of fairness that there are and determine which one will work the best for the negotiation that we're currently involved in. If we can bring fairness into our next negotiation, then we have a better chance of reaching a deal that will meet everyone's needs and which will be implemented by both sides. Good luck.